All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started on the coordinates assignment. I know this is one of the most difficult things that we cover in world geography, so I want your patience. The best thing that you can know about this is at any point, what I'm talking about, I want you to pause the video. You might want to rewind the video and find out exactly what I said before you move on to the next thing. So please use patience. Uh, Act like I'm right there explaining this to you. Go ahead and press pause whenever you want, rewind, and then once you get it, you can go ahead and move on whenever. That's the beauty of video, okay? So make sure you're doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. What I want you to do is turn to the map side. You have two sides to this. One is your coordinate side, which is your actual assignment. This is the information that we're going to get to in just a little bit. And then the other side is the map itself. Now, when you're looking at this, please do not pay attention to this top information. This is the one part of the map I wish wasn't there, and that is the time zones and the hours. They're approximately divided every 15 degrees latitude and I'm sorry, longitude, and it's kind of confusing. So what I really like for you to do is pay attention to the bottom. And down here on the bottom, you have these numbers. These are your lines of longitude that you need to be paying attention to. The lines of latitude are over on each side, labeled off to the side, again going by increments of 15. And they both start at a place called 0 degrees. That's our unit of measurement when we're doing coordinates, our first unit of measurement. So what I want to do is we need to start at 0 degrees, and then I'm going to actually ask you guys to highlight where you are as far as lines of latitude and longitude of 0 degrees. That would be your equator and the prime meridian. Now, one of those is labeled on your map, so we'll start with the easy one first, and that would be your equator. It's labeled right here as well as right here. And if you look over here, it says 0 degrees. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to highlight, and my highlighter is going to be a little bit bumpy and crazy, so I'm using the airliner, but it's okay. We'll go from here to here. It'll try to make it a straight line as best we can, and there you are. It's good enough for me. So here we go. The next thing is you want to find 0 degrees longitude. Now this is called your prime meridian and located right here. So we're going to try to start right here. And again, it'll be kind of crazy of a line. Hopefully the airliner will end up making it a little bit straight for me. I'm going to scroll up, make it all the way up to the top. And it makes it a little bit straighter. Okay, you should, at this point, have two lines highlighted. That should be 0 degrees longitude, the up and down, the north and south line right here, and then the equator line, which is 0 degrees latitude. Okay? So from there, we have now divided the Earth into 4 quadrants. There are northern hemispheres and southern hemispheres, eastern hemispheres and western hemispheres, but they together form 4 quadrants. So the equator is the line that forms north and south. Above the equator, all up here, is the northern hemisphere. Below the equator is the southern hemisphere. So from right here, what I'd like for you guys to do is, at the top of your map, I'd like for you to go up here and just put in, right up in the corner, an N right here, and an N in this quadrant right here. You notice there's both of these on either side of the prime meridian, this line right here. This is the north, and this is the north. So let's do the same thing to the southern hemisphere. Because that equator formed the north, we're also going to form the south. So down here, south, south. So the southern hemisphere is right there. Northern hemisphere is up there. Now, that was created by the equator. Well, the prime meridian, 0 degrees longitude, created eastern hemisphere, all of this, and the western hemisphere, all of this. So I'd like to go off to the side. There's some little gaps in between 60 and 75, so let's write it in there. This is east of the prime meridian, so we're going to write the letters E off to the side to remind us that we are in the eastern hemisphere when we're looking at this side of the map. And then that means we're not going to have a lot of room over here, but we'll do the western side over here. I'm trying to write really tiny with this one. We'll do the Western Hemisphere. So, what does this mean? This means that this quadrant right up here is the northwest quadrant. This quadrant here is the northeast. One down, southeastern quadrant, southwestern quadrant. So we should have 4 quadrants, and from here we're ready to go. We're going to start labeling. And we're going to go jump back, and I'm going to jump to this, and I'm going to use the example of 15 degrees north and 60 degrees east. I'm using a fake coordinate because these we'll get to in just a second. So let's go back up to our map. We are going to find 50 degrees north. That means, remember, we're looking at the N and the N. And if we're looking at the east, that means we're looking at the E and the E. So you know what that tells us? We're going to be in this quadrant right here. 15 degrees north, 16 degrees east. We know that we're going to be somewhere here. Okay? So let's go to that north first. Let's go starting at that 0 degrees, and we know we're over here. So let's go 15. Oh, here's our 15 line right here. I'm going to draw a little bit of a line right across it. Very good. So I'm at least going to be along this line right here, somewhere. So let's go down and let's try to find our 60 degrees east of the prime meridian. Here's, and it even tells you west and east. 60 degrees east, 15, 30, 45, 60. We're going to be along this line. There's where we meet. And if this little spot, it's out in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I picked that for a reason because I didn't want to give away any land or anything like that or a city. So this is, we would write Indian Ocean. And what we might even want to write is maybe near Yemen and Oman. And that would be a description, a very specific description of where 15 degrees north and 60 degrees east is. What I'd like for you guys to do is this. Be as specific as possible right here. You are going to go to 40 degrees north, 100 degrees west. If we go back to our map, that means north and west. That means you're going to be somewhere over here. But don't tell me that you're in North America. Don't even tell me that you're in the United States. Let's try to be as specific as possible. You have a world map located in your planner, right near the back. The very back inside cover is a is a North American planner or map in your planner. Turn a few pages in, and you'll end up finding a world map right in your planner. Use that as your guide because that'll give you a full map of where we're located. And go ahead and try to plant 40 degrees and 40 degrees north, and then the 100 degrees west of the prime meridian, 140 degrees north of the equator. So as we do, try to be as specific as possible. Try to label all 10 of these on this map, and I want you guys to have this for our flip activity that's going to be on Thursday. I hope this helps. If you ever have any questions, please come talk to me, and I will try to do anything I can to help you. But remember, before you just stop and say, I can't do this, I first want you to stop and pause the video, rewind, play it again, and try to solve it on your own, and then come in with any questions you have. Good luck!